Okay, picture this. You've totally been there. You send a text to someone you're dating. An hour passes. Nothing. 2 hours. Still nothing. Your heart starts to race. You check your phone again, your mind doing literal Olympic-level gymnastics as you stare at those 3 little typing bubbles that appear and then suddenly vanish. You start thinking, did I say something wrong? Are they losing interest? Should I text again? The wait is visceral, it's agonizing, and it completely takes over your entire day.
So why do we love the way we love? Why do some of us spiral into a panic while others stay perfectly calm? Well, listen, I want to validate exactly what you're feeling right now. That text message spiral, it is absolutely not a personality flaw. You aren't too needy, and you definitely aren't crazy. What you're experiencing is a deeply ingrained biological response. It's your attachment system hard at work. In this explainer, we're going to give you the exact actionable tools to fix your relationships by covering the biology of attachment, the 3 attachment styles, the anxious-avoidant trap, the DEAR communication method, and finally, how to find earned security. Section 1. The biology of attachment. Okay, let's dive right into the scientific foundation of human connection. Think about it like this. Just as a baby literally needs physical proximity to a caregiver to survive, adults need emotional proximity to a romantic partner to feel safe and secure. Your attachment system is a biological survival mechanism hardwired right into your brain. It drives us to seek out emotional closeness for safety. This isn't a conscious choice you're making. It is a fundamental evolutionary imperative. And it activates your internal alarm system whenever you perceive a threat to your relationship, like, say, a partner who suddenly seems distant or takes way too many hours to text back. Section 2. The 3 attachment styles. Now that we've got the biology down, let's meet the cast of characters that dictate exactly how our brains respond when that biological alarm bell rings. Now, this next part is absolutely wild. Take a look at the breakdown of these styles in the general population. 50%. Half the population is naturally wired for secure, drama-free love. If you've only ever experienced chaotic, stressful relationships, this right here should be a massive aha moment for you. The rest of the population is split up between avoidant at 25%, anxious at 20%, and a really small 5% who are a chaotic mix of both. Let's kick things off with that 50%. The secure style is basically the gold standard of relationships. Secure individuals act like an emotional anchor. They're totally comfortable with intimacy, they're deeply trusting of their partners, and they are incredibly direct communicators. Because they beautifully balance closeness with autonomy, they can actually resolve conflicts without resorting to panic or just shutting down entirely. They don't take disagreements personally, they just focus on fixing the issue.
But what about the other 2 main styles? Well, here we see a pretty stark contrast. The anxious style, sometimes called the clinger, lives with this constant, low-level hum of fear. They're hypervigilant to any cues of rejection, and they crave constant reassurance. On the flip side, you have the avoidant style, or the distancer. They value extreme self-reliance. To them, emotional closeness feels like a literal threat. They dismiss emotions and will actively pull away the second a partner gets a little too close.
Section 3. The anxious-avoidant trap. This brings us to the real emotional climax of our explainer. What actually happens when these 2 opposing styles meet? They are magnetically, yet destructively drawn to one another. Let's see how. We're going to walk through this cascading toxic loop. Step 1. Initial attraction. The anxious person loves the avoidant's seeming independence, and the avoidant loves the anxious person's intense warmth. But then we hit step 2, anxious activation. The anxious partner starts feeling insecure and naturally seeks closeness. Well, this immediately triggers step 3, avoidant deactivation. The avoidant feels suffocated, so they pull away, which leads straight into step 4, protest behaviors. This is where the anxious person panics and clings even harder. The anxious partner's pursuit directly triggers the avoidant partner's desperate need to withdraw. It is a completely devastating cycle.
So what do these stress reactions actually look like in the real world? Well, an anxious person engages in protest behaviors. They might call you 20 times in a row, intentionally pick a fight just to get a reaction out of you, or threaten a breakup. This directly contrasts with the avoidant person's deactivating strategies. To turn off their internal alarm system, an avoidant will just bury themselves in work, totally withhold affection, or mentally obsess over their partner's tiny flaws just to justify putting distance between them.
Which brings us to a pretty brutal, but absolutely necessary truth. The anxious partner has got to stop chasing, and the avoidant partner has got to stop running.
To survive this dynamic, both partners must actively work against their own natural biological urges. If they don't, or if one person refuses to do the work and grow, the relationship is inevitably going to fail. Section 4. The DEAR communication method. Don't lose hope just yet. Let's introduce the ultimate actionable antidote to those toxic protest and deactivating behaviors.
Imagine hearing this from your partner. "You never call me back. You're so selfish." Ouch, right? This is the absolute wrong way to communicate when you're under stress. When you use blame and character attacks like that, it instantly guarantees your partner's going to get defensive. Their own attachment alarm goes off, and boom, any chance of a productive conversation is instantly destroyed.
Instead, we're going to use the highly effective DEAR framework. Let's break this down step by step. It's an amazing way to express your needs without triggering your partner's survival defenses. First, you describe the situation factually, keeping the blame totally out of it. Second, you express your feelings using I statements. Third, you assert your specific needs loud and clear. And fourth, you reinforce the positive outcome that will happen if your need is met.
And this brilliantly illustrates the method in action. When I don't hear back, I feel anxious. Could you please return my calls? That helps me feel secure. You notice the difference there? It's huge. This approach successfully removes blame, it states clear needs so your partner doesn't have to be a mind reader, and it offers positive reinforcement. It speaks directly to their attachment system without making them feel attacked.
Section 5. Finding earned security. Let's pivot toward a really hopeful resolution here. By introducing the concept of earned security, I want to reassure you that you are never eternally stuck in your default attachment style. You absolutely can change.
Fun fact, the fastest way to become more secure is to simply date a secure person. You might want to take a mental snapshot of this secure partner checklist so you can start spotting relationship green flags out in the wild. Notice how a secure partner communicates directly using I feel statements instead of just saying fine and stonewalling you. They are consistently reliable rather than running hot and cold. And during a conflict, they actually stay engaged to resolve the issue instead of shutting down or going on the attack.
If you want to reach that earned security yourself, here is your roadmap. And let me remind you one more time, you are not broken. These are the exact daily actions you can take to rewire your brain toward healthy connection. You've got to consciously stop your protest behaviors. You have to practice staying present in the discomfort of emotional intimacy. Consistently use the DAR method. Seek out attachment therapy if you need some help unpacking childhood patterns. And above all else, consciously choose a secure partner.
I want to wrap things up with this incredibly powerful thought from Dr. Amir Levine. Your attachment system is your built-in survival mechanism. You can't turn it off. You can only learn to work with it. You see, love isn't just some random mystery. It's a science. So I'll leave you with this question. How are you going to stop fighting your own nature, stop judging yourself for your biological needs, and finally start working with your biology today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this gave you the clarity you need.